Hey everybody, it's Jim with the Friday video. In just a minute, I'm going to introduce you to Tom, who's our new security manager. But first this, every Friday, I think, I talk about our mission, helping people overcome challenges to employment. What does that mean? Well, it means that there are obstacles that people face, sometimes because of choices they've made, sometimes just because of circumstances. It could be something like they don't really know how to use the internet very well, and we can help them learn how to use computers and put resume together. Sometimes it's because of their background that made some choices that landed them in prison or maybe in a probation situation or community service. We'll help that. Sometimes it's because they have a physical disability or an intellectual disability, something that keeps them, they think at least, that keeps them from finding gainful employment. That's what we do. We help people overcome challenges of all kinds. And so whatever work you do all across the organization, you're helping people kind of get over that hump. Sometimes the humps are big, sometimes they're small, but whatever it is, we can help you. And so tell friends and neighbors, tell your family members, and if you've got a challenge yourself, let us know, because we want to help with that. You'll see in the background here, this is, I guess, wallpaper. It's a big photograph of Morgan Memorial. You can kind of see it's where Goodwill started back in 1902. And we try to keep some of those things here on the walls so to remember where we came from. We were born out of the Methodist minister's heart because he knew that people needed help in real practical ways. And he started the first child care center, hard to believe, in America, because he knew the people that lived near his church were leaving their kids locked up in their apartments because they didn't have child care. So that's what the history of Goodwill is. All right, let's get to Tom. Tom, welcome to Goodwill, and you've just been with us as security manager for how long?
For about 10 days.
Okay, so you're getting on the Friday video real quickly.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get to Goodwill, and what did you grow up here?
I didn't. So my story is kind of interesting when you look at all the different places I've lived. If you want to go down that road, it's long, but quickly said, I've lived 18 years in Vermont. I lived 7 years in Europe, 16 years in Florida, 9 years, I'm going to do my age here, aren't I? 9 years in Tennessee, and now we've been here nearly a year and a half here in Oklahoma, and we are glad to call it home.
Good. Well, you've got a lot of experience with lots of different environments, so now you're experiencing hot weather here in Oklahoma.
Yes.
So I think we know what a security person does, and we at Goodwill, in case you didn't know, we provide unarmed security to nonprofits and for-profits and government organizations. But what do you do as security manager, Tom?
Sure. I've got 60 officers that work for me, and I like to say we work together. And they are at about 14 or 15 different contract sites out there. So that's big. The big thing that we're doing is making sure that the folks in those places, and or if folks have gone home for the day and we're doing overnight security, for instance, we're making sure that things aren't stolen or nobody's breaking into vehicles or buildings.
Yeah, and we've got really nice, crisp-looking uniforms, and that really helps announce our presence. And that's sometimes a deterrent. People see a uniformed officer and they decide, okay, I'm not going to try to steal a catalytic converter from that parking lot.
Exactly.
So I usually end our Friday video, Tom, as I mentioned to you, by asking what advice do you have for how we can be great employees. But I think you've got an example.
I do. So I'm excited to say that I will be working side by side with the assistant security manager, is Chris Wilson, and this is his plaque for being the 2023 Security Employee of the Year.
Woo!
So I wanted to do a shout out to my assistant, or the assistant for the security team, Chris Wilson.
Yeah. So what did Chris do that qualifies him as the Security Employee of the Year?
I can tell you that I've only worked with him for these past a couple weeks, but I can tell you that Chris is diligent and really cares about both the clients and our officers.
Yeah, that's great. I was talking with Tom's supervisor, Chris Bachman, just a little bit ago, and he said that Chris is Mr. Flexibility. If there's a need, he will change his schedule to adapt to it to make sure that our clients are well taken care of.
Exactly.
So Chris, way to go. We're proud of you. Chris works the evening shift and the night shift, and so he may not see this for a while, but wherever you are, Chris, whatever time of day you see this, thanks so much for your service. And thanks to you. Have a great week, a great weekend, and I don't know, I'll probably be in maybe one of the ADCs next week. Look for me next Friday.